tension's building. All around, you can feel it in the air. It's more than a feeling, a new reality everywhere. I look and see the signs of the times. Yeah, it's coming, but they're all in denial. Everything you know, it's all about the change. See the sky crack and it rains down flames. Oh man, they ain't ready for it. This is something that they can't ignore. Coming down like a meteor. This is more than a game. You better get ready. Shock the world. Shock the world. This is more than a game. You better get ready. Go ahead, get ready. Shock the world. Shock the world. Shock the world. This is more than a game. You better get ready. Go ahead, get ready. Shock the world. Yeah. Shock the world. Feel the earth shake, smoke rising, walking through the flames. Our reality became unchained, like the jaws of a lion that can't be tamed. Welcome to the future, everything new, walking on the edge. It's nothing that you're used to, only the strong survive. You better catch your breath. Oh man, they ain't ready for it. This is something that they can't ignore. Coming down like a meteor. This is more than a game. You better get ready. Shock the world. Shock the world. This is more than a game. You better get ready. Go ahead, get ready. Shock the world. Yeah. Shock the world. Shock the world. Shock the world. Shock the world. This is more than a game. You better get ready. Go ahead, get ready. Shock the world. Yeah. Shock the world.
If you see me coming, I'm about to get it started. Get it started. I'ma show you something that you never knew you wanted. Yeah, you want it. Claws out, unleashed, I'm a beast. Got the whole crowd. Party, make a scene. Gonna get loud, real proud, show my teeth. Go wild like an animal. Like an animal! Like an animal! Go wild like an animal! Wildin' out like an animal! Go wild like an animal! I'm a machine working every day the hardest. Superhuman vision, got my eyes on the target. Claws out, unleashed, I'm a beast. Got the whole crowd. Party, make a scene. Gonna get loud, real proud, show my teeth. Go wild like an animal. Like an animal. Like an animal.
Yo, let's go, folks.
Oh man, what is up, people?
It has
Let's
been
go.
a week, son. Why are my shades like this, Bill? They're so good that you just
Got
see
some
right through them.
fingerprints on it, man.
Oh, mine are good to
Have
go.
you seen my haircut?
Looks good, brother.
Do we have sound?
Yeah. Last week I didn't unmute, man. I did that on purpose, folks. Hey, folks, look at the new CBC hats. Don't tell anybody about them. Clean. Look at that. Look at that.
That's the blue one. We also got a black patch.
Yeah, we got multiple different hat colors, of course. Hey, what's up, folks? Welcome into the CBC Down and Back podcast, episode number 64 and a half. I mean, it's been 2 weeks of absolute insanity here at the CBC warehouse. Since we've got back from Worlds, I personally have not made bags 2 days out of that time. Bill has not missed a day of making bags, legitimately. I mean, I'm not trying to sit here and toot our own horn, but we are killing it. But we got bag reps to resupply. We're picking up our new pros. That's a hint.
Kind of. We're not announcing any of that yet.
We're picking some people up. So we got some people that are committed, at least verbally committed, and we take people at their word. I mean, we hope people take us at our word, and we provide that to them, and we reciprocate. You know what I mean? It reciprocates both ways. But so we're getting that stuff going out. A ton of new orders. The jerseys, which are kind of hush-hush, to be honest, but we're still making, multiple a day.
I've made at least 70 jerseys. Yeah.
We haven't even made a post about the jerseys, and we probably sold 50 or 60 of them.
I think I made probably 70.
If you include Worlds.
Yeah. It's bad. It's
bad. My gosh.
I do want to showcase my jersey today.
Oh, yeah, Bill. What is
my
that?
jersey here,
CWC, Central
Wisconsin Cornhole here on the back. See, I hope you can see that. Yeah.
Old Schreiber.
Yeah, that's Schreiber. That was for you, big dog. I know you're sitting there at your blind draw just waiting for me to show it. And bang, dude. Got it. Let's
this
go.
Saturday, Aaron, coming to Ballpark Village? No chance, dude.
No shot,
We're so backed up, dude. We missed a Saturday. We're screwed for 3 weeks, dude. I'm going to get fired at work.
Dude, B-Rad's got his. Heartline's got his. Let's go. Dude, I love it, dude. They're clean. They're freaking. They look good, man. I love those.
New shirt designs in the works. Shirt order going to be going in soon. Hats are almost done. It's looking like it's about to be a new season.
Yeah, no, dude. Yeah, look, this is the second time we've transitioned into a new season, but the other one wasn't a real one. If this is the real one, bro, I'm gassed.
Next year I'm saving PTO for just the 2 weeks after Worlds just to work on bags, dude, because it has been nuts. But hey, welcome in, folks. Cheers. Yeah. What are we drinking? What do you got? The scotch right there?
I got some scotch. Yeah, 14 year scotch here. Let's go.
Thankful to Graphics Guy, Derek Zipko.
Graphics Guy for my birthday is in June though.
This is the first time we've cracked it open though. What up, Gavin? You ain't even late. We haven't really said anything important, to be honest, at all. No. Just thanked you for being here. If you weren't here before, if you were here before Gavin, we appreciate you. If not, you don't matter.
Dude, are we calling Aaron later?
We need to call Aaron. I know. I mean, Aaron.
Aaron.
Anybody that we've meant to make a phone call to that I've said I was going to reach out to, or Bill has said that, it'll happen.
It'll happen soon.
I can't even give you a time frame though. I mean, it has been nuts. But hey, so today we got the winner circle going. We're gonna announce a few tournaments here that are somewhat local to us. One that we're actually putting on, having a vending station at, really cool thing that we did. We highlighted it last week. And then another one over in the Central City area, I believe, with our bag rep DJ Skipworth. And then we're going to go into the Family Feud, which it seemed like a lot of people had a lot of things to say. There's going to be a slight twist to it, but it's going to get a little spicy. I mean, we like what's going on, but we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
100%. All right,
let's get the winners in here, folks.
Let's
That Todd Choate and Brandy?
Dude, that's a team to freaking
I can never
get
do
together,
this with
though.
Sonny's on, dude. I can't see
That's
anybody.
a team to get together in a blind draw or something.
Yeah.
No, dude, they rigged it.
They might have.
Yeah, they both throw very good. Yeah. Dude. Both throw very good. Congratulations taking the first place with the Ronins. Those are Todd's Ronins
are
too.
hot. Yeah, those are custom balls.
I see that.
Bryce Jefferson right there. And is that Dale? That's Dale
Baggett,
Baggett.
yeah.
Dude, Dale, and they're throwing, I mean, this is an OG set of Magnums that we...
Surges, I believe.
No, those were Magnums.
No.
I promise. I played against them.
Derek did that wrong.
No, I promise. I played against
Then
them.
he bought 2 of the X sets because I've seen him throwing surges.
Oh,
too.
really? No,
Oh,
these
yeah.
were magnums because Bryce was playing against me and he was rolling them and I was getting pissed because like it was like, dude, you shouldn't be able to roll these. There were 7, but that slow side was playing closer to a 6. Bryce showing off the new tat right there too.
Yeah, Bryce
see
got
that?
a tattoo, man. I don't know
So
how.
did you know it's legal? If you get
Without
documentation,
permission, or did he get permission?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So he found out he went to the bank, which I didn't know you go to the bank to do this because I guess there was probably a notary
Oh,
of
a
some sort
notary,
in the bank,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
My mom is the assistant to the notary at the Forterra.
Mm-hmm.
My mom helps Bryce with his tattoo documentation. My mom has a lot of tattoos, so there might have been a little bit of a loophole.
It is a
going on
very
there.
cool tattoo. I would
It's in honor of his grandmother, I
yes,
believe.
That's why it's a very cool tattoo. I would
Yeah.
have just waited a couple more years. That's all.
Because he might grow a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's what I always worry about tattoos, especially myself. Whenever I hit my growth spurt, I am worried about my tattoos.
It's a
I'm
big
waiting
decision.
on it.
Big decision.
I turned 30 this year, so some people say that's the number. I
Hey,
don't know.
We're gonna see Alan Ballard tomorrow.
I know. He texted both of us.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait, Alan. Good to see you in here, brother. Can't
Alan,
wait to
I'm
see
glad you got to spend some time with Gibby yesterday too, man.
Yeah.
It's freaking awesome.
100%. Gibby's our guy, dude. We
Gibby's
like
the
Gibby.
man, yeah.
And I'm glad he took that picture too, man. Gibby's in our jersey.
Yeah,
He got it.
Dude, he's just tournament directing, just hustling, dude,
I love
grinding.
it. I love it. All right. Let's go.
Greg Scott, and is that Big Time Bob?
Bob Bunch. man.
Big Time Bob. Hey, and
We're
about
gonna
everybody
talk
knows
about Bob
now
later,
that Bob
I
is. I mean, we probably are going to talk about Bob. Bob is most likely making the full move over, which he didn't play any ACL this year. I don't think at all. He's kind of just been doing his own thing, like local blind draw, situation. He's able to technically play in tournaments. If it was a non-pro tournament, Bob is eligible. I mean, he's not a pro in any league, right? A pro in all of our minds, if you know who Big Time Bob is, and almost anybody that's been around more than pretty much 2 years knows who Bob is.
Yeah.
If you don't, folks, one of the best players in the world for many years, still a fantastic player, senior national championships. I mean, he's an animal.
Absolute animal, yeah. And so he may be sponsored by a different bag company this year. I don't know.
I don't know. I talked to him.
I thought I saw something
I did
about
reach
that.
out to him.
But what I do want to say is he did buy a set of the Magnums.
Mm-hmm.
He likes them fast bags, dude.
No, he does like fastbacks. Yeah, he's a Viper guy through and through.
Yeah.
And Psychos, maybe Psychos even. I don't know. I think Viper guy though. I believe old school Vipers.
Very cool though.
All right, Greg Scott, congratulations to you too, brother. Looking good. Look at that beard, Bill. That thing's freaking.
I know. He's putting me to shame.
I mean, it's more grizzly.
It's grizzly. He's got
grizzly,
grizzly.
yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, that's me and Thane. We didn't like podium, Bill, but this was Thane's first win. You know, CBC made a post about it. But that's Martin's son, you know, and I was like his second or third tournament he's ever played in. And he after the match, he's run up to his dad and he's like, Daddy, I got my first win. And I was like, dude, I felt cool about that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
awesome.
Like I was like, dang, dude, like that's a cool thing. So I was like, let's get a picture. You know what I mean?
That was for
This is Switch,
right?
Hole, yeah. Just Switch. I think second round, third round. I don't know. He was so great, man. He's got some inconsistencies, but I mean, we all did in our third freaking tournament.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So that's
Congrats,
Thane
big
right
dog.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Many more.
That's Martin's kid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Cool, man. That's awesome.
Bill
All right.
Jackson. I don't know his partner. Bill Jackson throwing the Preds, dude. Bill Jackson full on CBC. I like Bill, dude.
I like Bill too.
Bill hung out in the booth a little bit, getting some bags at Worlds.
He's got
and-
some flow, dude.
Oh yeah, he's got full mullet. Full mullet,
Full
dude.
mullet.
No, he's got a perm on that thing, I think. I don't know for sure. If it's natural, dude, I'm kind of jealous. I like Bill though. Bill throws gas too. I mean, I hope that if he goes to a lot of majors this year, he can make his pro status, man. He's looking for it. Him and his wife Charity, they were both road dogs this last year, you know. So they go to a lot of tournaments. They're big supporters of multiple companies. Us, Gibby's, IMF,
Charities, IMF, yeah.
I mean, so they're good people, man, and they're not. They conversate with about everybody, you know. So I just I like Bill Jackson. I don't know his partner, whoever it is. Credits, brother. Good win.
That's what I'm talking about. Let me get some Elijah while
Oh, yeah.
while we were going through the next one here.
Oh, I don't even know who this is, Bill. Who is that? Bill, I don't know who that is. That's Gibby Gorilla Boards. I probably have it in my DMs. Let me find it. I appreciate
Apex,
Gibby.
though.
Dude, Apex.
Dude, this
Folks,
is
the Apex are so good.
And they got wood, dude.
You can't say that on stream.
Well, no, they got a piece of wood.
Come on.
You know what I mean? That they got.
Come on, dude.
Dude, if you throw a bag on the board,
That's-
it's called a woody.
Camden and Brock. Camden, Newcomb, and Brock. So I think Camden I don't know which one's which, actually.
Let's
I'm
make
not
it
even
up.
gonna-
Let's make it up.
I think
Camden's on the left.
Okay, all right. We're on the same page here.
Oh, man. That's
No
good.
idea how. That was 50-50.
Dude,
Hey,
Apex
congratulations,
hitting the
guys.
podium already.
That might be
I
the
love
first
it, dude.
winner circle win for the Apex.
Yeah.
I'm getting another one tomorrow.
Dude, that's a lot of cash, too.
Yeah, that looks like. I mean, these dudes must be good. I gotta look them up.
Yeah, definitely. Next, let's go.
Hendo on the right. Oh, there's Apexes again, son. Back-to-back Apexes. Let me see who his partner is right there. I just can't. It's kind of like the shadow's not good right there.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to up their picture-taking skills out there.
Yeah, you guys need to get zoomed in on each other's faces or something. Dude, Hendo didn't even send it to me. Oh, there it is. Didn't tell me his partner's name.
Didn't tell you the partner's name. Well, partner, whoever you are,
Come on, partner.
that's about 1.5 feet taller than Hendo. Congrats, man.
Hey,
So I'm
congrats,
freaking talking
folks.
about. I hope you like
Let's
the
go.
bags, dude.
Let's
I hope
go.
you like the bags. Next one.
that's me again. Hey, this is also a special moment. It's already been publicized, but Heather Fox was a great partner, man. She freaking killing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's killing it. She like had no expectations. She's like came up to me beforehand, like apologized like for how bad she is before. You know when somebody does that to you before you start playing?
Oh, I
like,
hate
hey,
that, dude.
it's
I
like
hate that.
it's like, hey,
No
you know what
reason
we're
to.
gonna do? We're gonna freaking have fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what I told her. And so we win first game, we lose second game, and then we went on a freaking tear, son. I mean,
Yeah.
close games, but went on a tear. And Heather was pulling her in. She's over there. She's making washes. She's getting 2 points when they're available. You know what I mean? I'm doing my thing on my end. We have high energy. You know what I mean? We just roll and roll and roll all the way back to the championship. It took second place.
You guys beat us, didn't you?
I don't remember playing you. No, I do remember. No, but there were some distractions going on, right, Bill? Were there some hecklers in the crowd when we played against each other?
Yeah.
And we had the issue of
There
the
were a
side of
lot
the
of
board, the side of the
hecklers,
board
man.
issue.
Dude, I had hecklers all night. It was like, why do people heckle me? I'm trying to freaking lock in
The
here.
only reason people heckle him, folks, is because Bill is probably one of the most focused players you will ever see on the board. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's a blind. It doesn't matter if he's on the sidewalk down here by himself. By himself. He's trying to beat himself. Because he is the most focused cornhole player.
No, Drew Waking is way more focused than I am.
Dude, you put each other next. A singles match between you two takes 4 hours.
Don't even start with. I can't wait to play some singles ACO this year and just kind of sit there and play my game as slow as I freaking want to. Everything I want. I cannot wait to do that, man. I'm super excited about
Yeah,
this year.
Bill did have some
Heather,
hecklers.
Congrats, Dylan. I don't
Bill,
even
what
know
about
what
that airmail that I hit?
I don't even remember, dude. I
Oh,
don't
where the
remember.
blocker? You lay a perfect blocker?
Oh yeah, and you dragged 2 bags on that, dude.
What about the reverse cut collect? 'Cause I was ripping fast.
Dude, I was like, I think the best thing to get out of here with some points is just blocking this, and I even
Perfect.
pinched them. I mean, it pinched the bags and everything.
There was like 2 front left of the hole. I'm on the left side of the board throwing inside arm. I already missed one. I forget why I missed one, but I missed one.
Yeah.
Right? And so you go, okay, I'll lay behind here, like Dylan S. ripping airmail, like you could get 8 or something like that. Crazy.
Yeah.
And dude, I rip a low airmail, drug the 2 bags, dude, and build just
It's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
I was in reverse cuts. These bags were, dude, it was stupid.
Look, I've seen that shot hit by many people many times, this and that. The only reason it's ridiculous is because when there's a shot similar to that on the boards, whether it be a crazy roll, collect, just and 2, whatever it may, he always hits it against me. Now, if we team up and play, I'm like, oh, Dylan's got this. You know, long by 5 feet or something when he
come
should.
on.
No, it ain't that bad, but you know what I mean.
No, you're right. No,
It just feels like it's always against me that you're just
I
ripping
mean, that
these stupid
game,
shots.
though, with that airmail drag and the 2 reverse cuts that were, I mean, those things most people call out of play. If we're commentating, we probably say, leave that thing alone.
Yeah.
You're an idiot. No matter who's throwing.
Yeah, it was like I couldn't win. It was
No.
bad. Doug Parker, what up, big
What
dog?
up, Dougie
Hey,
Fresh?
Kyle Martin, if you're still in here, dude, I miss you, man. When are you coming
Yeah,
back?
where have you
we're
been,
waiting
Kyle?
for you, dude.
Second and drinking tomorrow night, bro. Be there. Be square.
He's in Pittsburgh or something.
Dude, nobody cares about freaking Pittsburgh.
Nate Allen says, I wish I could focus like Bill does. Dude, there's all sorts of craziness going on in here, man. I
You
gotta
don't want that
block it out.
focus.
Yeah,
Just grip it
you
and
don't
rip
want
it.
it. Just, exactly. You don't want it. All right,
Hendo again.
let's
Who's his
go.
partner in this one?
I
Did he
have
tell
no
me?
idea.
Maybe he
I
told me
should-
this time.
I should be on this on a first place. I'll be on here next week, man.
No, he
I
didn't-
won
he didn't
one
tell me.
last night.
He didn't tell me.
Didn't tell you. Hendo, congrats. This time the elixir.
Hendo killing it, dude, on
Dude,
the podium.
he is he can throw any bag. I've seen Hendo on here with Ronins. now Apex, now Elixir. He could throw any bag, dude. He's legit.
Oh, dang. Dougie's trying to test me today. Dougie, I've already got all that energy out of my body about an hour and a half ago.
Wait, what's up, Dylan? Was just going to speak to Bill and see if you got... What does that mean?
Well, because he just said, what's up, Bill?
Oh, let's go, Doug. That's what I'm talking about, man.
Come on, Doug. You freaking hate me or what? It's all right, Dougie. No more games for you next year on Center Court 2.
Doug and I are buddies.
Doug's games are going
Doug, I'll pull you up all the time, dude.
He doesn't even know how to do it, Doug.
Do you want to retract that statement?
I retract.
All right. I'm very afraid when I do it.
Gavin.
But I know how to do it.
I put it in. It was too late when I put it in. So I get these things all stacked up. It's just graphics guy did them, but didn't tell me when he was doing them. It was rough.
Yeah. All right. Next one here. I don't even know.
You'll be on next week, Gavin.
I don't even know.
I don't know either. That's white. That's that white squirrel cornhole, Bill. What do you know about white squirrel cornhole?
Derek Bauckham plays there.
Yep, I think it's owned by Gordon Reed, or ran by Gordon Reed. Let me see if I can find this. No,
I don't know. So, folks, sometimes the
what
CBC
place
AI
is
bot
this? Second place.
tells us that there's a picture with
Tony
our bag.
Fiddler
Okay.
and Danny Gammons.
Tony Fiddler, they're his
Tony
elixirs.
Fiddler
We
has
know
definitely
Tony
ordered
Fiddler.
some
Okay,
bags.
okay, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I love it. Dude, Sakari, even Ziploc with Legos. What does that mean?
Someone throwing any bags or something, I'm guessing.
Yeah. I mean, Hendo, 100%.
Lane, what's up, bro?
Yeah, what up, Lane? Got Dean in here. Hope to see you boys soon at Sank and Drank. We'll be there soon. Okay, we're gonna be there on Friday.
Tomorrow. The week's gone by fast. It goes by fast when you're making bags. Garrett Chandler and Martin. Let's go. Oh, yeah, I beat them.
You had to have because you were in the losers bracket and worked your way back up, and they took a third. So
I wasn't sure if it was the same tournament. Then I realized these faces looked like they've been beaten by me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you could tell there's a little bit of anguish. Me and Heather, mainly Heather, a little bit of me.
That's good though. I'm glad you beat him.
Hey, no, Martin and dude, Garrett.
I'd have beat him too.
Garrett was playing one game and somebody goes, "Dude, that kid's got the prettiest bag I've ever seen." And Garrett Chandler's bag is freaking nice.
Yeah,
it is nice. Pretty flat, a little bit of backload, a little bit of tilt.
Yeah, but
it's the money.
I smoke him right now. He needs to practice with me a little bit more, and I think he'll progress a lot.
Yeah, you're probably right. Garrett, write that down.
Give him a little wink.
Dude,
there he is again, taking another third place.
That's like a eat your words right there.
I know.
Where are you at this week, Bill?
Hey, I should be in there. I'll be there next week. Brian Gibson, that's what I'm talking about, dude. Let's go, Gibby. Hey, I saw you last night in that clean jersey, man. I hope you like it, brother.
Dude, Schneider. Dude, that's my guy. I was in the military with Schneider. Fort Carson, Colorado.
Not to be confused with Schriebner.
Well, Schneider and Schreiber. It's close, though.
Schreiber.
Schneider.
Is it Schreiber or Schreiber?
Rodney, get in here. Last but not least, Hendo hitting the airmail. Get out of here, Hendo. Hendo, next week, you're limited to one freaking podium.
Yeah, Hendo, you're
limited down. Lane Cruz, Kim Dyson, a couple of pros in the chat.
Lane Cruz.
Dude, where's Lane? Dude, I heard he's getting back after.
Send me a message. Send me a message. I don't know what your plans are next year, dude. Send me a damn message, man. Lane, come on.
This is my specialty drink right here. Let me show you.
Seriously, how about Facebook? Send us a message, depending on what you're doing next year. If you're already good, you're already good. If not,
Dougie, when I come over to Bill's, I bring my lunch box, right? And then we just have that's some hot sauce. Then we just have some Elijah Craig.
We got Elijah Craig and hot
and
sauce.
ginger ale. and
ginger.
This is an apple cutter. You ever had an apple cutter, Bill?
Yeah, we have them downstairs.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
Get some apples and a couple scoops of PB. Honey and PB, though. Make sure you have it mixed.
Curtis Amos on here. Dude, Curtis was probably on YouTube wondering why we're not talking to him.
We're on YouTube. Who's on YouTube? Bond.
What up? Bond? I have a whiskey and Coke. That's what I'm talking about, dude.
Yeah, shout out to the Elijah Craig, though, Bill. We didn't give it a lot of credit right there, though. This is the small batch. I picked this up the other day down in, where was I, man? I was in Pleasant View down there with my parents. Nice little bottle right here. What's he saying there? Schreiber. I don't like it. Schreiber it is.
I always call him Schreiber.
Next tournament y'all going to? Blind draw or whatever? I mean, tomorrow. Blaine?
Yeah.
Sankin and Drinking tomorrow here in Clarksville. Griffith.
We're going to Sankin and Drinking tomorrow.
If you legit want the address and you're going to come tomorrow, it starts at 7 o'clock. What up, Tanner Neal?
But
hit me up.
Lane, depending on what you're doing this year, we got to talk, dude. We got to talk. Lanes.
No, I think legit. That's what he wants to come up for. Is to talk a little bit about some bags, man.
Yeah, we should. Tanner Neal, what up?
We'll bring some stuff. We got some stuff that Lane might like.
Pedro in here. Jeez.
Pedro, we're drinking bourbon. Always bourbon. Well, we had a little bit of scotch earlier.
Bourbon, whiskey. I mean, scotch is a whiskey. Bourbon is also, the difference between a bourbon and a whiskey is Kentucky or anywhere else, really. So, they're whiskeys. They're all whiskeys. So,
yeah.
All right, let's roll. Let's get to
announcements. Let's get it in, folks.
Announcements.
All right, a couple tournaments here.
Which one first?
Doesn't matter.
We'll do this one first.
All right, benefit tournament put on by the Kentucky Corn Slingers. That's a chapter of the Clarksville Corn Slingers here over in Central City. It looks like this tournament, Bill, does it have the location here? Okay, thank you for that.
It does.
Okay, I can't even read it.
I thought it did. It's on Cornholio, the
Logan County Extension Office Pavilion.
So it's at the same place that we played that, or you didn't even go. It was where so DJ's, he works at Logan Aluminum,
right? And
they had a huge deal for all the employees there. It's like a fun day for everybody. And DJ hosted a tournament there. That's where all those boards were raffled, all the bags were raffled and stuff like that. My wife and I went. Good location, outdoors under a pavilion. Very good location though.
Okay, well that's where it is, folks. Looks like it's $20 blind draw and $40 per team. Bring your own partner. That's on August 31st. It's a Saturday. Times are small.
Yeah, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Or 2 p.m. is the BYOP. Blind draw starts at 5 p.m. out there.
Okay.
So
we're gonna hope
we
to be
should
there.
go. Yeah, we should be going to that one. I hope, unless something gets crazy, but we should be going.
Which
to that
things
one.
have been crazy.
Plus, we donated a set of bags to it too.
Yeah,
so
we donated a couple sets this week, right? Because and then the next tournament we're going to show. But hey, that's August 31st, folks. That's around the Central City, Kentucky area at the Logan County Exterior Office Pavilion. Hit me up, hit Bill up, hit DJ up if you need extra details. Also look on Cornholio. This is Kentucky Corn Slingers Benefit Cornhole Tournament for Carolyn Stanley. All proceeds, what does it say, will go to help
50-50 payout, but all proceeds that they make above that is going. So I should say a little bit. It says travel and other expenses to help her. She has stage 4 bone cancer, stage 4 breast cancer.
Yes.
And she's on a fixed income. This is Cody's grandmother, right? On a fixed income and just needs a little bit paid for to be able to get back and forth to the hospital. Right. Sometimes she's got to drive to Nashville. Sometimes you know what I mean? So that's what it's for with her fixed income.
Yeah.
So.
If we're not able to support, we'll probably send some cash.
Right.
To be honest, at the minimum. So if you'd like to do that, let us know as well.
100%. Maggie, dude.
You gotta hide. And
Hold on, Maggie's in the chat.
Dude, Maggie,
what up? This is it. Let's go. I hope you guys are all seeing it. You gotta go tell Schreiber.
No, it's Schreiber. You're saying it right. You're saying it right.
You gotta go tell Schreiber.
I'm being ignorant.
Dude, I like Schreiber.
No, I do too. I love him. You like him, I know.
No, okay. I know. Well, I got the jersey. You didn't.
Well, he feels bad for you. He wanted your love, and you were giving it to him.
Yeah.
So now he's trying to bribe you.
I was manipulating, and I didn't even know it. Okay, all right.
This is next weekend, which this thing's come on real quick. The Deputy Bubba Johnson Foundation Cornhole Tournament. This is their first year doing it. They do a 5K run every year. Have vendors out there with food trucks. This organization, I talked about it last year, they have been great for us. They bought 2 sets of bags on their own. We donated a set of bags. We got them a set of boards at a discounted rate so that they could auction this stuff off. But Deputy Bubba Johnson lost his life in the line of duty about 10 years ago. So this foundation is giving back to what they call the fallen, right? Honor the fallen is one of their catchphrases, I guess you would say. And that's what this tournament's for. So 50-50 as well here. It's $40 a team. 30 team max. I believe there's somewhere between 10 and 15.
Are we playing it?
I already signed us up.
You and me?
Yep.
Let's go. What bags we throwing?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. I like it.
Probably Apexes, to be honest. Probably. Starts at 4. So we'll be out there. We'll be running the tournament. We'll have a bag booth. If you guys are local, if you don't register online, which it is on our Facebook page, reach out to me. I'll send you the link. If not, you will be able to pay walking up. So...
Right.
Just so you guys know, that's how it's going to work.
30 team max. They also do a 5K, I believe. 5K run is what the event is really for, but they decided this year that they wanted to do cornhole. You reached out because you thought it was a great cause, and you were just like, hey, how do I get involved, right?
And they've been awesome.
Yeah, and we got involved.
Yeah,
so.
they're talking about they have a gala in September that they might want some boards for to go into the silent auction. We might get an invite to that. If you see me and Bill spiffed up at a gala, son, you know we're there for business.
100%. So if you guys are looking to play next Saturday, get to this tournament. I'm hoping it's going to be a little bit of light competition for you and me. You know what I'm saying?
Not on Cornholio, folks. Just know it's not on Cornholio.
That's why I think this is one of those secret ones here.
Yeah, we're about to scoop up this benefit tournament and probably donate it all back. Is probably what's going to
Yeah, that's fine. And that's fine. That don't matter to me. That's fine.
That's probably what's going to happen.
But yeah, that's the last tournament anyway. Rodney's in here says, love you both. No, you don't. You just love me. Let's go. All right.
We're about to get to the meat and potatoes, folks. The family feud. We've been discussing it a little bit on Facebook. There's multiple different topics to go through.
Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff to get through.
We don't know. Is that a knock?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right.
Is Bubba here?
I don't see him.
No, Bubba. But didn't you talk to Joey? Is he
I
coming
did.
to pick up the board?
He is coming. I'll get a text from him when he's on the way. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we got to make sure
I'll
we
keep
watch
that updated. Yeah, because I'll run downstairs real quick or something. But
That's
hey, let's get into the family feud, folks. Let's get it. I don't even know if I need to be savage mode for this. So we have everything pulled up right here too, Bill. If you want to use the thing, even Bobski, if you'd like to, we can. If not, I can read it straight from here.
You mean do something like
No. Come on. What is?
Did you see what I got to deal with? You make one misclick.
That was two misclicks.
Well, I had to click back. It's just one misclick and this guy.
No, you go like this.
We're not a professional production.
Bink.
What did you click? Oh, I forgot that I made that. Yeah,
I made that.
No, you didn't. I made that. I forgot that I made that.
Are you
Don't
serious?
even look at me like that. You know.
Look at what it's titled.
You don't have the technical expertise to be able to do
He's right. I'm taking credit for something I didn't do. All right. So we changed the topic, which we still may talk about the ACL pros missing over and all the other stuff that's going on with ACL pros coming over, ACL stamp boards, all that kind of stuff. We may still talk about it tonight if we have time, but CBC AI picked up on some new player guidelines, right? And guidelines for COs, additional guidelines for regional tournaments. And this is big news because I think one of the most complained about things in the ACO last year, at least coming to our DMs and the CBC AI picking stuff up, was the regional tournament situation, right? Like you get the typical major payouts and people want to be upset about that. I mean, I don't think it's that bad, to be honest.
I don't think the major payouts are that bad either. I really don't.
People talk about the schedule. What do? They fix the schedule. I mean,
that's actually a great point, and I don't want to name any names, but I do want to talk about this because I heard a couple people complaining about the tailgater payouts. Right? I know somebody that took I believe it was a second place, and there was a ton of people in this tailgater at Worlds. Took a second place, got a $25 check, and walked out, and he was pissed.
Yeah,
I mean pissed. And I'm like, whoa. And he was talking to me about this again. I'm not going to name names, but he was talking to me about this. And he's like, never again. And I'm like, you know that you're now entered into the Tailgater World Championship, which plays for all of the money that everybody's buying into these tournaments for. So you get to play over and over.
Are all those people guaranteed a check after that?
I'm not. Once they make it into,
is it a money bracket?
I don't even know. I don't know if it's a money bracket.
I would assume it was. I don't know that. That's a good question. But yeah,
I know that all of those buy-ins throughout the week went towards the overall champion of the tailgater. So if you played a tailgater and you won it or you got second, you were automatically entered into that tournament. Right? And just because you get $25 in the first one means you should show back up to go to that. Well, this person wasn't able to show back up to that. So he was missing the check that he got and kind of pissed that. And I'm like, well, if you wanted to make the real money, you play so well with your partner, you should show up to this. You get a jersey, you get all sorts of stuff.
Right.
So I think that's just like a miscommunication on how the payouts would go for something like that. Because I don't think that that's bad at all.
No.
You spend an entire week to build a pot. I mean, crazy size, and then you go play for it.
Can you confirm that it was crazy size pot?
I won't. Maybe they guaranteed first place something, but hopefully the rest of it got paid out. You know what I mean? Obviously, they had to pay for the rooms up there, so it's probably a 50-50. I don't know.
I don't know either. Yeah, I mean, but you're right though. I mean, and this is something I don't want to actually talk about this until we get into the ACO versus ACO conversation, because there's a big point that needs to be made about the ACO that I want to wait to make that point. But there is something like along these lines with payouts and all the complaints that everybody has that I think can be almost like just like eliminated with something. Okay. Anyways, so the topic's going to change. We looked at the additional guidelines. This was sent, the CBC AI picked this up, right? So let's just start at the top. Bill.
Well, Shane did say the $25 check came after the Saturday tourney, not the qualifiers. Maybe he got his check early because he said, I'm not going to show up to the Saturday tournament.
It was definitely before the Saturday tournament.
I know it was definitely before the Saturday tournament that this person received their check. So maybe this person walked up and said, hey, I don't know. I'm not going to show up.
Yeah.
But I'd like money. And then maybe they did pay every place. Maybe it was a money tournament where last place was that 25.
You're right. Yeah, I don't know.
So while he thinks he got first, he actually got last.
Lynn's giving credit to the
and
studio.
Still got money. And still got money.
Still got money. Still got money.
I'm just saying.
I don't know. Like I said, I'd have to know exactly what the payouts were and everything that happened, who got what.
We haven't done research on that.
Right. And like I said, I understand if you only get $25, like you're not stoked if you put 20 in or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, there's a lot of tournaments where if you're not good enough to play in singles and play well, you don't get to do freaking anything. You know, so the tailgaters even being an opportunity to go out there and have a good time, I think is something to be said on its own, right? To even be able to do that every, 3 or 4 hours every day of the week, starting on like Tuesday?
It's like every other hour. It's not.
I don't even know, because there's 2 rooms, right? And just be able to, and even if you're not, open boards, right? I mean, a bar up there. I mean, it's just like, you go to any other tournament, any other major, there's nothing available like that. You're waiting hours and hours and hours for boards to open up. If you're not one of those top level players that are going to play all day long, the tailgaters is a great experience and a great way to meet people, to network yourself if you want to be somebody's bag rep or work your way into a sponsorship, or just freaking meet new people and hang out.
Cash games.
Cash games too. Bingo.
Cash games.
We want some
cash games, man.
Yeah.
That's where it's at. Yeah. That is where it's at. Lynn, I'm about to rip out this brick wall behind me. I think I'm going to make it more modern, a little bit futuristic, stuff like that, in our space here. I know it's massive.
Change coming soon.
Lynn came over last week. She got to see the actual studio. She knows. I was 6,000 square foot studio. You got people in the background over there with camera, all sorts of stuff. So
yeah, Lynn showed up. I didn't know that she'd come over, and she showed up second and drinking, and she's like, Dylan, I didn't know you guys had a studio like that. Yeah. And I'm like, Lynn, you freaking thought we were low level? Like, you thought we were, what did you think? You know?
The only thing she didn't see was the 24-hour fitness and massage bar.
Yeah. I think she would say that I think she would say that the studio was underrated.
Yeah. Zinger. All right, let's go.
Let's get into guidelines. David Penny Jones.
It was fun. Played 4 a day. Dude, David Jones was up there all day. When I left Worlds, David, I felt incomplete because you and I didn't hang out as much as I wanted to hang out with you. And I was a little sad about that. I just want to let you know. And I texted you the other day. You freaking egoed me, dude. David, you didn't answer
What up,
me.
Cisco? He was probably canning, dude.
I told him that was my text. Hey, when's canning? I want to set up a weekend that my wife and I can come up. And he didn't text me back, man.
Dude, he's done canning, dude.
He don't like me.
He's done.
Don't like me.
All right.
Cisco, what up?
Yeah, what up, Cisco? Let's get it, dude. Hey, Aaron, we'd have to add those numbers up. You know what I mean? If you got those numbers, it's 100% handy, and you know what that money went to, you freaking CBCIO, pick it up, all right? They'll know. They'll know. Hey, because Aaron sent me something today. He goes, did you find out about this? This person's looking for a new partner, and these people are teaming up. And I go, CBC done. Already picked that up.
Oh, okay.
Weeks ago.
Yeah, we
Weeks
picked it
ago.
up.
All right, let's talk about the first additional guideline here, Bill. And this is really important to our local area. I mean, based off of one thing that we talked about a lot last year. So here's how it reads. Regionals may not be scheduled with a start time before 5 p.m. local time on weekdays, except national holidays. So what do we think about this, Bill?
I love it.
Okay.
I think it's good.
Here's my question. Is Friday a weekday?
No.
That's a problem.
Yes, it is.
I think it is.
It is. It's a weekday.
Because if you're working a 9 to 5,
It's
you
a
have to
weekday.
work 40 hours.
It's a weekday.
Okay. Because a weekday is a work week, right? A typical work week,
It's a
Monday
weekday.
to Friday. Okay.
It's a weekday.
Okay.
100%.
Because I'm just saying, it's what? Amber, tell me what? It's yes to it's a weekday. It's a weekday.
Yes.
That's
it's a weekday.
important.
100%.
Amber is a voice of a little bit of authority. Just so you guys know, folks.
We gotta mind our
You're
P's and Q's now.
You're in the presence of
Amber's
some
in
authority.
here.
I'm a little nervous now. But
Tim Smith, what up, dude?
This is important.
You owe me a you daddy.
Oh, you wanna play him for
He
that?
dodged me all week at Worlds. Wouldn't freaking play me in a dang game, man.
Timmy. Dang.
That's my opinion.
Oh, okay. This is Amber Fretwell off the record. This is not Amber Fretwell on the clock. Just so the ACO clock, that is.
David, please give me a call tomorrow between the hours of noon and 5. And, dude, I want to set up a time. I want to get up there. I will drag Dylan up there. We're going to bring 2 dogs. We're going to bring my son. We're going to do the quads. We're going to do the razors. I'm just going to sit there and can with you the entire time.
We might bring the sewing equipment.
I'm going to squeeze the maters with my hands.
I want to step on them.
Yeah, you can do that too. But please, give me a call tomorrow. I'd like to set something up.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right.
So we've established Friday. According to the chat, Friday's a weekday. And I would agree, right? So what that means is, there were some tournaments somewhat local to us. Friday, 1 p.m., singles, right? 7 players, half the family
There
are
were
the players.
Tuesdays at 7 a.m.,
Right.
bro.
Yes. There was. Well, that was. So, and it says except holidays. So I do wonder how that works too, right? Is the holiday only the day, right? Is it Christmas Eve and Christmas, right? I would assume so, right? Is it, because like that tournament you're talking about, Bill, was the day after Christmas, right? It was the day after Christmas, a Tuesday, 7 a.m. singles. Let's get it. And it may have been a family event. I'm just saying. It may have been a family. Hey, that's speculation, But this eliminates that.
But this is a great step in the right direction.
Okay.
You would agree that what they put on there for that specific line right there is it slows down. Like, people have to be more creative. They have to be more outward about something if they're going to try anything nefarious.
So, Bill, here was something that I heard. I think it was in my comments on my personal page. It might be in this one. And I could look for it really quick.
Tim, why we got to do a drug test to be able to play, dude? You
Yeah.
owe me a you daddy because you dodged me all week.
Folks, if you don't know what a U-Daddy is, Tim Smith made this up. Maybe somebody else made it up. I learned it from Tim. And he plays you, no money, no beers, nothing like that. If he beats you and he comes up to you afterwards and asks, who's your daddy? You have to say, you daddy. Pretty much until you beat him.
It's not that he even comes up to you in person. It's that he's going to post it on Facebook.
Oh, he is.
And then you have to reply saying
it's like a humiliation degradation event, right? Like and usually the person that beats him doesn't even care that much, And Tim, that's not a dig on you, buddy. It's just like they're like, okay, like I got it over with. You know what I mean?
He got a you daddy from Zach Rush.
He has gotten some actual big names. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm a little worried about playing Tim right now.
Kristen, what up, brother? You'll be on the podcast next week, man. I got your picture. Kelsey said, I think the ACO should be more choosy about what they approve. She's talking about regionals. I think we agree. I think we talked about it a lot last year. And all these additional guidelines we're about to go through have that essence that you're talking about, Kelsey, behind them, right? Like this thing, 5 p.m. So anything, I would assume if I see a Cornholio singles tournament scheduled at 1 p.m., for me, anywhere in the country, maybe besides Hawaii, right? At 1 p.m., that tournament is not allowed, right? And you could legitimately, anybody could turn that tournament in, and it is done, And that's what this is the problem with this, is this stuff is going to have to be monitored, and also I think it's going to get turned in a lot. Something else we're going to talk about here in a second is something that a lot of people are going to just send to the ACO, and the ACO is going to have to be accountable to reprimand or deleting or not accepting these tournaments
within the
if they don't
rules,
follow these
venues,
new additional guidelines.
So the only argument that I could see that some people would have for that, and there are some people that are probably legitimate in this specific argument and could have it, is, well, I work third shift.
Right here.
Or I work second shift.
Andrea Spencer has this
right,
one.
and that is sure, it's an argument. It's a good argument, but when you're a company that has, well, we'll just say 5,000 hardcore players, right? You have something like that. You can't tailor to literally everybody's needs. So what do? You say, hey, most people generally work until 5. Most tournaments generally start at 7, maybe 6, or this or that. This still gives people time.
Yep.
The outliers are those people that, yes, they are in that situation, and this, it sucks. It sucks to be in that situation like that. But you can't create a rule for the very, very minority people in this specific case. I think you have to create the rule. I think so. What I'm trying to say, I guess, is it's more beneficial to the ACO to create a rule that says, hey, this is what it's got to be, rather than, in these instances, and be super nuanced and kind of let things like that happen, because then there is that
Slippery
opportunity for cheating and things like that. Well, there's more of an opportunity, I should say.
Yeah, and so, I mean, Mike Schaefer Jr. here, one of our bag reps in Cincinnati, also a CO. I mean, this guy works third shift, says we only run tournaments on Saturday.
Right.
So one part of Cornhole, if you want to be a pro, if you want to be a CO, if you want to be involved, the bottom line here, third shift, first shift, second shift, is sacrifices are going to have to to be made, right? Let's say you're a morning worker, right? Let's say you're me, right? I work at 6 in the morning, right? And so that means most people, have to get up around 4:30 or 5 to get to their job at 6. So if my blind draw starts at 7, or my singles tournament starts at 7 p.m. on a Tuesday, and 40 players show up, and let's say I play well, I'm not leaving that venue anywhere before midnight, right? Unless there's 10 sets of boards.
Right.
So what
That's
sacrifice? True. Everybody has to make a sacrifice, right? If you want to go to these weekly regionals, right? And what people are saying here, go to a weekend tournament, and that's exactly what happened. There's plenty of them.
Most are on the weekends,
yes.
right? And you could travel within 2 hours of most places, except Bob Heil. He's only got to travel 2.5 hours, but most people can travel within 2.5 hours and get a tournament every weekend.
Yep.
We're very fortunate here to be able to choose which tournaments we go to. I mean, there's one almost every night of the week within 2 hours. So it is very, very simple for us. So we're kind of, I guess, blessed in a sense like that.
Yeah.
And I get it. You know, the argument against Schaefer right now is, well, we hold ours on Saturdays. Well, somebody else is going to say, we work weekends. You know, and again, I'm against that argument because the ACO would have to cater to a very, very minority group of people. Right. And I think they should make the rules and keep the rules to what the majority or the average or the general is for all those people.
I mean, Amber's making the point with Megan. She works nights, and I knew she worked nights, and she makes as many regionals as she can. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just fine. Justine, another CO, right? Another bag rep for CBC right there, who is a CO, runs tournaments, and works night shift, right? Yeah. So this thing, people that say, like, oh, this is hindering the third shifters, I think that you have enough people in this chat that are telling you, hey, it's possible. And if you're having trouble, any of these people that have been mentioned, Justine, Megan, who else was mentioned? Bill, Mike Schaefer Jr. and Mary Schaefer, they will help you out. If you reach out to them, like, hey, I'm third shift, how could I make this work? They probably ask where you live, and then they probably help look up your area and score. I mean, I know all three of these people personally on a very, very good level. Some of the nicest people I've ever known. So if you need help scheduling your tournaments or how to get to things, reach out to somebody.
Yeah, because sometimes it's not convenient.
Yeah,
and I think that's what you're getting to, is sometimes it's not convenient, and sometimes it's not convenient for me. Look, we played. We're gonna play tomorrow on a Friday. That ain't convenient for me. I worked my butt off all week from freaking 6 in the morning till 9 p.m. Doing everything, and now I'm gonna show up to a tournament. But I love it. I love cornhole. It's not convenient for me. If it was convenient, I'd say let's do it at this time when I'm perfectly open and nothing else is gonna happen. Although you can't do that all the time, man. If you love the game, you're gonna freaking show up, and that's what it is.
And this is anything in life, man. If you want to work where things are convenient with you, just expect to be mediocre. You know, I mean, like I said, I'm not.
I am mediocre, but I still do it when it's not.
I'm saying if you only work when things are convenient for you, right? When you work on your job or work on your hobby or work on whatever your small business, if you have one, right? If you're only doing that when it's convenient for you, don't expect to reach the top, right? And that I'm not trying to get hardcore with you.
No, I know. I shouldn't have brought up the convenience argument
you know how I get,
because he's gonna get crazy.
Nate Stevens, what up, bro?
What up, Nate?
In the chat.
Good to see you, man.
What up, Nate? Yeah. All right. So that's the 5 o'clock, a weekday regionals. That's fantastic. I love it.
I think it's a great change.
Great
It's a wonderful change. I mean, yes. Just keep going.
All right. This is the next one. A lot of confusion with this one, so I'm going to read it, and I'm going to see what you think of it, Bill, first.
I know exactly what it was when I read it. So, yeah.
Well,
go ahead. You can read it, though.
All regional divisions must allow a minimum of 16 players or teams. All right.
No, wait. You said you were going to let me do it. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, a lot of people, even in the comments on our post, said, so now we have to have a minimum of 16 for all divisions, all regional, which means doubles, you have to have 16 teams, is what people took that as. And that is absolutely not the case. That is not how this reads whatsoever. Mm-hmm. It's just saying you cannot. So a minimum in doubles teams, how many do you actually have to have?
8. Well, no, 3.
So, okay, three
to
minimum.
Run the tournament.
Okay. Just to run the tournament, you have to have a minimum of 3. What they're saying is that you can't cap it at 3, right? You can't cap it at 4. You can't cap it at 5. You have to cap it at a minimum of
8 teams.
8 teams, 16 players, which I think is a step in the right direction. I think if we had our perfect world, there wouldn't be caps, and there probably wouldn't be tournaments ran with one set of boards, right? Like you'd have to have.
This is so the other thing, Bill. Is,
well, I know, and I'm getting to that, and that's probably why they said 16 here as part of their algorithm and stuff like that. Yeah. And I agree with that, but you know what I'm saying is that you and I would both like to see someday that they're not capped. That anybody can show up to a tournament, right? And go play it if it was listed on Cornhole. Although we know that there's issues with that. If we have 6 sets of boards in a venue, 64 players or 64 teams sign up, you ain't getting that. That place got to close. Not everybody has a venue that can stay open that long. Yeah. And I agree with that. So they capped it at 16 players. I think it's a great change. I think it's a step in the direction that we all want to see.
Yes. And then, I mean, what's really good about it is we were seeing tournaments be ran, and I know one specifically. Like I said, I'm not trying to call anybody out, but you got to use examples when examples are there. And there was a tournament where, hey, we're running singles. The minimum is, or the maximum people we can have is 12, right?
Right.
And that's because we have to fit the local blind draw in afterwards.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you are a CO and you're running regional world singles, I'm sorry, but that needs to take priority if you want to do that. If you don't want to do any world singles during the week and you want to make sure your blind draw runs, then guess what? You just run the blind draw, you know, and that's what it is. And it caters to some, and it might not cater to all, you know. And this is a decision you might have to make as a tournament director. But like I said, so what people
I have an argument against that. I have a little bit of an argument against that, because if that is the case, right? If they all said, hey, I still have to run a tournament specifically for local people who are not associated with the ACO, just so they can have their fun too on the one day that I can run it at this venue, right? That's rough, and I hate that, because I wish they could have the same venue for 2 nights, 3 nights, or run 2 tournaments or 3 tournaments, because those local people that they're that player or that person is talking about, that CO is talking about, is someday going to join the ACO. Right. And they're developing. So growing the sport overall, I can see what they're saying about something like that. Like, hey, I'm still going to run my blind draw because I have 6 extra people that showed up specifically for that.
Right.
And I can't run my tournament that long. And someday these players are going to be part of the ACO.
Right. Yeah.
So that's the only pushback that I would give you on something like that. I would hope that these COs have at least maybe 2 venues available, or the one venue, maybe 2 nights, something like that. Because that's if your attendance is low on the ACO night, and then it's super high on that blind draw night, you have to have that blind draw night too, because those players are going to move over at some point.
Yeah. And like I said, the 16-player minimum, it also alleviates the people that aren't growing the ACO, right? I think we saw a lot of regional directors that are, like I said, and I hate to say this, and I could make examples, but I would never call anybody out by name, but they are protecting their own pro status or protecting, it is 16 teams. Okay, that's important.
And I love that. I think that's even better. When I said step in the right direction, I thought it was 16 players. This is a leap in the right direction.
But 16 teams make sense because realistically, it's the same amount of games going on.
Right, and 2 sets of boards. Yeah.
So realistically, it's the same. Yeah, because it's 4 players per board compared to 2. So 16.
A couple hours it's done.
I don't want to do
2 hours,
crazy
2.5 hours done.
Yeah. But people were, there's no maximum, Lynn. Like if you have 2 sets of boards and you want to run a 100-person tournament, you have free will to run a 100-person tournament.
Right.
On it is the maximum, it is the minimum amount of players you can have to cap a tournament. If you're going to put a limit on the number of players that can show up and play, 16 players or 16 teams is the minimum you can set that cap at.
Right, that you can set the cap. You can't say, hey, 3 teams is the absolute minimum, or 4, whatever it may be. 4 teams is the minimum to be able to run a regional. You can still, if you promote your tournament and you only get those 4 teams or 3 teams, whatever it may be, you're still good to go.
Yeah.
But if I'm out of town and I sign up for this thing and they're like, no, we capped it at 4. That's all we can handle because we have 1 set of boards and we only have 20 minutes. You know, like you can't do that anymore.
Right.
You have to at least open it up to 16 teams.
Yes.
But if you get 4, you're still fine.
It's a great rule. Great rule. Minimum 2 sets of boards in a venue. I think that's highly reasonable. I mean, I've never been to one that only had 1, like at least running an ACO regional. I've never been to one with just 2. But like I said, Bill said, we're blessed in this area. We have a lot of players, good venues,
we're great,
good support around this area.
Stephen Dusty White, what up? Good to see you.
So moving into this one, Bill, which this one might get a little pushback from me, but it's okay. All regional venues will be contacted and verified by ACO Corporate prior to approval. The only pushback I have with this is that this should have been happening for a long time.
Oh, so you think it's a great
rule
to be written?
I always worry with new rules in anything that I see them is the accountability of the rules happening, right? And like I said, we all saw what happened in a certain area where multiple venues were approved in the same area with a minimal player base within a couple of weeks, right? This was my issue with the entire thing, is that when I was a CO, I turned in my venue with a phone number, a name, an email for the person who owned the venue. I fully expected that person to receive a call. I expected to possibly have to do a video chat to ensure that my venue could hold the amount of players I said it could hold, or hold 2 sets of boards or something in that scenario.
Right.
So when I saw what happened last year, it made me less upset with the players committing the penalties, although what they did is wrong. It made me more upset on the side of, I felt like I thought something was happening that wasn't happening. You know, and this now being written means that you are accountable to this. And that's why I like it written. I like things written
100%.
because that it makes it, you have to be accountable. If you don't do this, right? If I signed up for CO today and got approved and went and made your closet my venue, if I don't get a phone call and get disapproved on this, I would be upset. Right? This is what I'm saying.
The conversation that we had earlier in the year, or was that last year? I think it was earlier this year. Anyway, the conversation that we had specifically on this topic right here, you know, you got a little passionate about it. I think we both got a little passionate in that conversation about it. But at the end of it, I was like, it's going to happen. You got to give it some time. This is a big organization, right? And now we see it. Rules are changing. This is the time that they are changing rules. Something was discussed, something was discovered, and they're saying, hey, now this has to happen. And they're not saying we could potentially verify.
No.
They're saying it will be contacted and verified, which means somebody is going to call that place.
Yes.
Well, 100%. That is not a maybe. So do whatever you want. But if we catch you, you're screwed. Like it takes a little bit to be able to change these things. I think they're doing a great job on doing something like that.
I mean, like I said, so far everything we've seen here means that they're listening to the players. They're listening to the complaints of you guys, which I think is very, very important, right?
Right.
Because you guys are the people. You guys are the ones out there playing in the tournaments, seeing what's going on. You guys are the eyes and ears of what the ACO is, right? Like the people in the staff, they're doing their job. You know what I mean? They're doing their job.
Right.
And they don't know what's going on the ground level. And they have forgotten about things or not thought of things that could loophole this system into what we're calling cheaters. You know what I mean? And that was probably just, I didn't think anybody would freaking do that, right? That's probably ACO staff going, I can't believe somebody would fake these venues and then fake some players in here to receive some points.
You talked about it the earliest point in this podcast. You said that we take people by their words because we expect the same. The ACO, there are people. They do the same thing that we're doing and something like that, although there was some nefarious activity.
Yes.
Now they have to be corporate, right? They have to do something like this, and it's going to suck for COs. COs, exactly what Cherish says here. Read it.
Yeah. Cherish Tabers, if you guys don't know, Russell Taber's wife, she makes this. We've been to this venue. We could verify this thing 600 times in a row. But she said they had us send in something to verify our venue. Said because we owned it, they needed photos. So saying they needed something extra. What this tells me right there is like, you can't just say, oh, well, I own it, so it's good to go. Right? Like, this means that if you say you own it, it means that they are now going to make you do an extra step because you might be cheating. Right? There's a possibility.
So this may be a burden on some COs. You do it one time a year or whenever you use a new venue. You may have to do it also. Take a few pictures. Make sure you do this. I wish maybe some of those little, sub-bullets were in there. Maybe it's in the CO guide to say, hey, how you can verify your venue, we're going to call. If it is your own venue, we're going to need this. You know what I mean? Just have sub-bullets to say, hey, this is the burden that we're going to place, not, whatever I want to do to change it. Although we both think this is great.
No, right? Like I said, if
we
somebody,
talked about it.
Somebody like Cherish Tabers to reach out and say this too. Russell and Cherish have been in the ACO for, as long as anybody that I know.
Russell's CO of the year.
Yes,
2 years.
Last year, last season. And so for these people, and she finishes here with, they aren't picking on people when they want to verify the venue. I promise, right? And that, if that's, like I said, that's truth, right? If they're checking on the Tabers, they're checking on everybody, right? And there's a lot of COs in this country, and you might see that the COs are getting cut back on because of the work it's going to take it on the ACO staff to manage every single piece of this kind of thing with COs and with regional tournaments, which I think is a good thing. Yeah. I think it's a good thing to limit some COs. Yeah. Like I said, I don't want to see it in my own area. We have a big player base, and it's crazy what you can and can't do. Everyone's
and the COs that don't do that, like there may be an excuse. There may be, we play at 3 different venues, this and that, one every other. There may be some sort of excuses for this, but I think this is I honestly, those COs that you're talking about that are like, it's too much of a burden for me to take a few pictures. Like, give me a break. It ain't too much of a burden. Right. Something weird's happening.
Listen, and I think that honestly, if you own your own building and you're doing the right thing, I would personally appreciate the fact that you're making me do it. Right? Yeah. I'm like, dude, thank God.
They want to see my place.
Yeah, they want to see my place. But I put all this work into being a good certified official. Yeah. The Tabers especially. I built my own venue that I bring people in and I freaking show them comfort of literally my home. Yeah. Like, I would appreciate the fact that they are checking on everything because you know what you put into your place. You know what I mean? And people are skating by with closet regionals, we'll call them, right? They're getting checked on.
That brings me to something. Cherish, why hasn't Russell reached out to us to stream any of the mini majors that's going to happen so far this year? Just throwing that out there.
We're
Hasn't reached out to us whatsoever.
We're ready.
All right, let's
We're
check.
ready.
Let's check. So no, I think Margaret up here, Margaret
Oh, what'd you
Barrett.
say? Oh, right here. You're right.
I can vouch outreach was made regarding venue and pictures required. It was great to see the verification process. Yeah,
Yep.
100%. You know other people that may be close by, may not be close by, aren't putting nefarious tournaments up there. I think it's great.
Yeah, Dwayne said, I think if you're a CO and the ACO has certified you to be a CO, then it's your responsibility to do the right things. If you don't, then you should not be a CO. Which Dwayne,
I agree.
we completely agree. We've said this time and time again, but we've seen the opposite, right? So you can't, you know what I mean? Like I said, people, I hate to say people have evil in them, right? And sometimes we don't always do the right thing. I don't think I do the right thing all the time. You know what I mean? And I have, like I said, you got to take accountability for things, but you're right. When you apply to be a CO, you should just follow the rules, right? It seems that easy, but you get caught up in a pro status, or your buddy's trying to make a pro status, and you got to put in this little regional right here. It's just a little regional right here, right? And then, like, next thing you know, you put in one, and then that guy tells somebody else, right? And you got 2 or 3. Hey, I'm 3 points by. What can you? You know what I mean? Hey, here's a couple $100. But this is how it happens, right? And now you felt like crap, dude. Now I'm stuck, dude. These are my friends. I've done it once. How can I tell them I can't do it for them? And
it would be like me letting Dan Furlan win a singles regional or something like that. Like, I'm not going to do that, Dan.
You're gonna get
I'm
Dan
sorry.
fired up.
Dan, I'm going to smoke you every time I play you, brother. It's not going to happen. I'm just joking, Dan. I love you, dude. You'll beat me every time. You'll beat me 70% of the time right now.
Dan, I think you're right. The pictures or videos for only some. And when he says only some, I'm guessing that's only people that own the venue they are registering as a regional venue. So I think that, Dan, if somebody calls, we'll say the Flippin' Axe, right? And Randy Heath answers, and he's like, I'm the owner of the Flippin' Axe here, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
Dan's pissed.
You did get him fired up.
Dan, I promise you next time I play you, I almost smoke you, dude. I almost smoke you. I'm throwing outside arm, though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If you call a venue and you can see, like, okay, the owner is Randy Heath. Let's say I look it up on the internet, right? The Flippin' Axe, and it's Randy Heath. And then I call, hey, this is Randy Heath from the Flippin' Axe. How's it going? And you go, hey, you got some people playing cornhole in here? And he's like, yeah, every Monday and Friday night, these freaking people come in here. They're hooligans, and they go hard. They drink a lot of beer, and
they ruin all my shit.
He goes, how many sets of boards you got there? I don't know. I think they got like 4 or 6. I don't know. Freaking, they're all in my freaking spare room over here. I don't know, man. There's a bunch of them. At that point, you could probably
pretty easy.
They're running tournaments over there. You know what I mean? Like, I think
I don't
that might
think
be the
two-factor authentication should be that big of a deal. I don't
if
think
you
it needs to
own
be.
the venue, right? I do think that this is yes.
Yep.
I like video, but yes. All right.
Or video.
Yeah. Next rule
is...
Wait,
Tracy Burns. I applied for my CO. I would be happy to send pics or videos or my contract with the venue. Where is Tracy Burns? She's close to...
West Tennessee.
Yeah, is she close to...
Scott.
Martin?
Yeah. Around that
close
area.
to Martin. How far away are you from any other CO? Because that's...
there are some over there.
Yeah, but I love it. I hope you get it, Tracy. I really do.
Yeah.
I really do.
So the next one, which I thought was already a thing last year, but I know there was some problems with this. All regionals must be public on Cornholio at all times. And then we'll just add this one in there at the same time. All ACO certified officials must enable Cornholio pre-registration for their ACO regional events. So you must have pre-registration on, and the event, like I said, all regionals must be public on Cornholio at all times. So at all times is a weird thing to say in there, Bill, because it means like, are all the tournaments up right now? Because at all times, what does that mean?
2 weeks in advance.
Well, it doesn't. Like I said, it doesn't.
But you have to register your tournament 2 weeks in advance. So what we've heard from unreleased CO guide information, correct?
It's. I mean, the CO guide is not unreleased, but
why I meant, you know what I mean, is that 2 weeks could be something that may be published from a source that is reputable.
Yes, okay. I would agree with that statement. I would. Yeah.
Let's go. That's what
but hey, like I said, I like the pre-registration has to be on. You know who's going to show up. You know what I mean? You have to allow people to be able to do that. I know for doubles, this is the only thing that I have on this. For doubles, pre-registration on Cornholio as a CO or as a tournament director is a freaking nightmare. son, because if people don't add each other to the right person, and you got to add them in, but one shows up at a different time and they pay, like, oh my God,
so they both make their own team, and then you don't know
so
how many.
Most of the time, right? The CO will wait until the doubles team gets there, right? And then they'll check them in together. It's like, hey, come check in for doubles together, right? And then bop, right? But if it's got to be there, then it's got to freaking be there, and that's the rules.
That is a tough one, because you brought up a way that potentially in doubles specifically there could be some sort of nefarious activity.
Yeah, look at Miggy and us.
Totally a nightmare for double. Yeah. And that's where if you do 16 and you cap it at 16, and then you're like, after the fact, oh, well, I mean, 8 of the players, they didn't register with their team, they made their own, and blah, blah. And that is a common issue. So if it's a common issue, anybody can believe that. You know what I mean? And that's one spot. And I'm just calling this out. I don't know how you fix something like that, because I'm thinking off the fly here. I could probably think of a way to fix it here pretty quickly. But that is a way that for doubles specifically anyway, that you could see something, right?
Yeah, maybe. Like I said, I think it's just tough for the COs, and that's why. I mean, Miggy's was off, right? I know Russell Tabor's was off when you go there. So there were multiple people that turned their pre-registration off just for doubles. Like everything else was pretty good, pretty easy, right? Doubles was the tough one. So that's
yeah, and I can understand that though. Yeah. I mean, you're like, hey, are we playing doubles? Yeah, we are. And then I don't talk to the person until the tournament. The day of the tournament, they registered. I registered too.
Yeah. All right, Bill. This is the last one. This is kind of a big one. So this is the Cornholio stuff, new for season 20 right here. All ACO certified officials will be required to implement Cornholio score magic for all ACO World Divisions at ACO Regionals. This is a big deal.
That is setting up for something that we're not going to be able to make it to tonight, but that is setting up, right? Cornholio score magic. Mm-hmm. That is setting up for hopefully the tier play at some point. But we're not going to discuss that tonight because we'll
talk about that in a second. Yeah. Okay. But score magic, so this is the thing that I like about it, and I'm going to tell you the thing that's going to be tough about it. Score magic needs to be done, right? It helps verify the tournament. It helps players track their stats. Score magic is a great freaking thing. If you're not using score magic, you're either 1, lazy, or 2, you don't want to see your stats. Like, that's it. You need to see your stats. Like, it's good for you to grow or to fail. You know what I mean? To move forward. Like, these things have to happen.
Or you're in a switch and you don't really care.
Well, no.
Like,
that's never an excuse.
Okay.
You're wrong guy.
Well, if I play, let's say I play with Mike Cochran.
Okay.
Right? And he throws 7 9 bags.
Okay.
And I throw 3 7 bags.
Okay.
I don't want to see my stats. I don't want those stats published.
But it makes you
a true player. No, dude, get out of here. It doesn't make you
any condition, any board, any time, any bag.
What he is saying is absolute garbage because I just heard a story and I don't remember who it was from. I believe I was watching ACL something, whatever it may have been. But they said, I really wish they would have tournaments that some were outside, some were inside, some were fast boards, and some were slow boards. And we all know the finishes on boards can change it. Yeah. And they said, they used to do that. But when they played on super fast boards, the pros couldn't hang. Some of the pros that were playing, they weren't as consistent.
Bill's over here.
They weren't as consistent as they were.
Bill's over here.
I'm just saying, you say anytime, any place, any bag, any blah, 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 whatever, this and that. You know what? I'll play a freaking pro that throws a 3-speed on a freaking 10-speed board, dude.
You're literally Dumb and Dumber right now. You know when he's like, so you're telling me there's a chance?
There's a chance, baby.
That's you right now.
I literally just heard that this weekend about somebody talking about that. Like, yeah, if they did that, though, the pros kind of struggle on it because most of the elite, absolute top elite, throw a little bit of a slower bag, right? It was so they can shape their shots, stuff like that. I mean, they do, or they have slower boards.
This brings up a weird conversation, though, Bill. How fast should the board be? Right? Like, what is this thing, tough, right? Man. What is this thing?
Because it should be 72.35 degrees. It's CBC AI bot told me this.
I mean, it's
72.35 degrees inside. We get a humidity tester. You stick it in one slot in the side of the board. They should be drilling out those holes to be able to test humidity on the inside of the board, the moisture content. And if the moisture content is below 15% and you're at 72.35, good to go. Good to go at that point.
But the lacquer matters, right? The polyurethane, how much they place.
Well,
on
no,
the
you
top,
would
the
assume
finish,
that those top,
all finishes are the same.
You would assume that those top tournament boards all have the same finishes, all the same stuff. Faster the better. Yeah. See, Lynn would destroy all top pros out there on those boards. Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I mean, it just brings up a weird question where you're like people say, oh, the pros couldn't hang on the fast boards. It's like, who
Damon
are they fast
Dennis
to?
could probably hang.
Who are
Bob Bunch could probably hang.
Who are they fast to? Because I know people that could have the fastest boards in the world, a 10 fast side, and still somehow lay a damn blocker. It's not me. It ain't me.
No.
But there's freaking people out there. Right?
So, let's take this scenario, and I'm just going to throw this out there, a thought experiment, right? You got Damon Dennis, fast bags. Likes to throw fast bags right down the middle. Super solid. Little nose down throw. But super solid.
Yeah.
Let's say you have Tony Smith, Mark Richards, Ethan Walker.
Those aren't even slow play. Yeah.
And I'm just talking about all players.
Ethan,
you
Gavin,
think they're not even
Cano.
slow players? Bro,
on those boards.
Tony
If you have
Smith
ice
threw
boards.
surefires and on slower boards, you know what I mean? And he could make magic happen with those bags, right? I mean,
Eric Davis.
And let's say Damon Dennis ran through them all.
Yeah, somebody like Nate Stevens, right? Somebody like
you would be like, what?
Isaac hurt?
Something happened.
What about Isaac on fast boards? Done?
I don't know.
You know, there's no way you're getting that action. He runs bags though.
Dude, Isaac is clean right now. We haven't even talked about it. Isaac. You're clean, dude.
We talked about it last week.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, what is this perfect condition of boards? Like, because I want to know. Someone needs to get together some sort of freaking experiment. What is the so-called perfect condition? Because I think it differs for all of us.
I'll tell you exactly what they were. The Gibby boards that we sold.
Oh, the ones at the Axe right now? Or at the Grip Fit right now? Yeah. No, those are money.
Best boards I've ever played on.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. All right, so here's the other issue with the score magic thing. All right, so people aren't going to have venues that have it, right? They're going to say, I don't have it, right? So here's your option for that real quick. Todd Gammon, I'm talking to you. People can run Scoreholio straight from their phone. You can live score it, okay? It is not ideal, but your phone has constant internet, okay? If you don't have freaking data or any sort of source of internet at your place either, Todd, freaking move, okay? That's it, Todd. I'm freaking tired of you, dude. I'm sorry, Todd.
Dude, Jacob Dennis is in here. Let's
Dennis.
go, Jacob.
What up?
Good to see you, man.
Everybody has a phone. Use your freaking live score.
We love Damon. We absolutely love Damon, dude. He is a staple in the freaking sport.
First pro I ever met, and it was right after he won the World Championships.
I met him a couple years ago. He doesn't remember me, though. He has no idea who I am.
It was awesome.
Dude, Damon, stand up, classy guy.
Second thing.
Absolutely love the guy. Go ahead.
Okay. So you're looking at a tournament that, let's say I played last night and I was in Guthrie, Kentucky, right? I went to some tournament, I didn't even tell you, right? Had 8 players. Nobody knew.
Tell you,
nobody knew, right? So you're like, what the crap? Dylan got some SPR last night. Where the crap did he get that, right? You look up my tournament and none of it has any score magic. It's a singles regional. Are you turning that in? Is that tournament, if somebody turns it in.
If it's basic scoring, you can't turn it in.
You can. Right?
We just read that it has to be score magic, right?
Exactly. So, if a tournament goes in and you see somebody got points for it, you find the tournament and it wasn't score magic, everybody's deleted, right? I mean, that is the assumption, right?
Yeah.
It has to be. So, this is what I worry for with the ACO. There are a lot of tournaments that this happens at. A tablet dies or my venue's internet went out, or right? If people start being honest and crazy about this, like the players or other COs or whoever, maybe you, maybe me, you never know, right? But they start getting crazy. You could see these things turned in multiple times a week.
So they're basing it. So it's tough business decision.
I love it. I love the idea.
Right. It's a tough business decision also because Scoreholio has to work. The app can't go down on that specific night.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And you don't own Scoreholio.
Right.
So that's what's tough about it. You're relying on something else to be able to track those stats and make sure it's always up and make sure that this can always happen. Because let's say the ACO owned Scoreholio, you would know when it's down. You would know when it has to have updates. You would know these things.
Customer service is freaking
top
notch.
It is phenomenal, but what I'm saying is that your business has to rely on somebody else's business, and that's where.
So do you think they clear stuff like this through Scoreholio, or you think they just hope that it all works out?
No, they definitely have a. I believe that they have a great relationship with Ben.
100%, 100%. Yeah, Ben. I'm blanking on his last name right now. I talked to him, like, not all the time, but I've talked to him multiple times. I can't remember his last name. It's something crazy. Ben Buddha. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I like this idea, though, with Score Magic has to be used. You know, I think this helps alleviate a lot of all these things we've listed. At some point last year, one or more of these things could have alleviated the thing that we were talking about that was a controversy. Right? And so that's what makes this good, and that's what makes it known that the ACO is listening to you guys as a player base, and that things are changing because of what you're saying. Like, that is important, right? Like I said, and like, we'll move into the ACO.
I want to put one more added benefit to this.
Go ahead, Bill.
You're going to love this one. Probably haven't even thought of it. I know you. Smooth brain.
Smooth brain.
So, this is actually a great benefit, and if you just thought of it, I'd be very surprised because I know you've been thinking about this stuff. If you fluff your PPR in tournaments to make your stats look better, it is not going to help you when you get to your tier.
Right.
Not at all. So
we can't talk about tiers.
I know, and we're not going to. But I assume that's what's happening with why you have to do Score Magic, right?
Yeah.
And I assume that if you fluff it, you may be in the wrong tier.
Right.
So that disincentivizes, which is a perfect.
Yes, it is. It is great. I didn't think about this, Bill, and this is why I'll tell you.
Did?
No, I did not. Okay. But this is why I'll tell you I didn't, because the people that are fluffing their PPR aren't playing in the freaking tiers.
Bro, I fluff my PPR all the time.
No, you don't, and you'd be tier 4.
I don't do it.
Anyways, they're not playing in the tiers, right? They're trying to make pro, and they're trying to fluff their stats, not to make pro, but just to look cool. Right, and worked on their SPR.
But there's other people that just started that one look cool too.
The only thing that I'll say about tiers, before I say why we're not going to say anything about tiers, is that you only go into a tier at a major, folks, if you don't make the main bracket.
Okay, that's it. Stop. We don't know this. All unverified.
So CBC AI indicated what happened with the tiers. They got the information. They put it on the Facebook.
All unverified.
Then
tune into the taco on Tuesday to figure it out.
AI picked up an alert that changes may be being made soon, very soon. Okay, so what we want to do is not speculate on tier play and the tier stuff right now. We want the ACO AI. I think ACO has an AI. Because ACO AI is kind of blocking out CBC AI a little bit.
So they do pay us $50K a month to be able to use our bot. Although it's not programmed properly, so now it's more like $250 a month, and they get to use it a little bit.
Yeah. So we're not going to go and, like I said, what I said about the tiers is what, and that's all. The picture you see, I mean, it's legit, but subject to change. So if we sit here and hammer something into the ground, and then it's changed next week, we wasted a bunch of freaking time. And we're not going to waste our time. CBC has no time to waste.
Right.
No time to waste around here. Okay? That's the facts. And I mean, Bill.
See, Aaron's thinking the other way. 4-on-4 can still be put in as 12-on-12 on Scorehole. 100%. And I've seen people do that too, Aaron. I've seen it. But it's not incentivized to fluff your PPR right now. Maybe I have no idea if there is a new rule on, like, if I tie somebody in points but my PPR is higher after the end of the season. That's the only way it's incentivized. But if you're the average player that's fluffing your PPR and you get entered into a tournament that maybe your skill isn't equal to that specific tournament, you're screwing yourself for that. So I like, it's not incentivized, which is a great thing, is that you should put in exactly what you're making. Yeah. And that is, I believe, what that rule changes to
Yeah.
it. I love it.
Shannon makes a great point here, though, to where this is a real issue in the ACO specifically.
Yeah.
It's cheating since it is
That's
used
what I
for
said.
ranking and
That's what I said,
tiebreakers.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what she said. And this is why Bill and I also argue against PPR being used for any sort of ranking or tie-breaking situation. Bill and I will argue this tooth and nail.
Yeah.
Almost anything else for us. Win percentage, DPR, head-to-head.
So-
We don't care what it is, but PPR is manipulated so much. Like, if you pay enough for Scorholio, you could run your own dang tournament in your backyard, like, just to fluff your regular Scorholio SPR and PPR, just for funsies, dude, and input some random, like, this is, so PPR is never good.
One of the better measures, in my opinion, over a season, right? And we believe that, they're tracking stats over a season.
Yeah.
And over a season, I believe the better measure would probably be DPR. Over an entire season. Not one game, not 10 games, not 50 games. But over an entire season, as you play, I believe DPR would be better.
What does DPR show?
Well, what Aaron is saying right here. 4-on-4 could still be put in as a 12-on-12. DPR didn't change, not at all. If you're the opponent, you're going to be watching something like that,
Yeah.
right? And if you're like, oh yeah, fluff my PPR, you gave us a 12-on-12 for a 4-on-4, that's cool. Still did not change the DPR over a season,
Yeah.
right? But one game, like especially if it's doubles, if they take those stats and they take doubles, singles, literally everything, and I'm like, hey Dylan, we're playing against Austin Thomason and this backyard player that nobody's ever heard of. I'm going to play against the backyard player. You play against Austin. You're probably going to be negative DPR, and I'm going to probably be 8 DPR in that game. You know what? Like,
Right.
That's going to happen. So I can kind of funge that depending on the games. But if you play over an entire season for something like that, you're not going to be able to funge it the entire time. Plus, those other extra things probably aren't going to do that. That's why DPR over an entire season is okay, not 50 games, not 10 games. Like, it has to be a bigger measure of something.
Because what is DPR? PPR measures how many bags you can throw in the hole, pretty much, right? And can be manipulated easily.
Right.
DPR cannot be manipulated in the same way at all, right? It can't. It doesn't. A 4-on-4
No,
and a
it's
12-on-12
a little bit safer.
is a 0 DPR.
It can be manipulated if I always play who I deem to be the weaker player on the opposite team. If
Only
I
in
always
doubles.
right. But that's a stat that it doesn't differentiate between singles and doubles.
You're right.
So,
but what DPR means to me is how much better you are than your opponent in those games. That's the average. I know it's differential per round, right? But that shows how much more dominant you are than the player base that you've played against.
So let me get. And I agree 100% with you, 100%. But let's say you play Switch. Let's say your only night that you play is Switch, right?
Yeah.
And you get a person on your Switch team that's a little bit weaker, and let's just say you're against Sean Majors and somebody else. You're probably going to be like, hey, I'm going to go play against Sean.
Right.
You play against this person.
Okay.
If you played against that person, your DPR is going to be crazy, right? You play against Sean Major, your DPR is probably going to get in the positives, but it's not going to be as fluffed as if you played that person.
Yeah.
So,
but you do know this is ACO play only.
It's only singles and doubles.
Yes.
ACO.
So it's what goes into
that's perfect.
So, and this is how Scorholio separates. If you guys don't think Scorholio could separate it, whatever's inputted into Scorholio seasons, right, which are only your world regional events and your world major events, are the only things that are inputted into Scorholio seasons. It separates that PPR from your personal player profile. Everything else
That's
PPR.
good. Although the blind draw is going to be in that.
Yes, the blind draw, the quads.
But that's such a minor part over an entire season. And that's why I said the bigger the sample size of getting that stat will tell you exactly what it is. Even if you fluffed, because sometimes you're not going to be able to, and you're going to take the bad side of it.
Yep.
And it's going to average out the entire way. And I really think that we don't have those stats. This is the first year that something like this is going to be implemented. It may be clunky. It may not be. But I'll tell you what, next year it's going to be better. You know what I mean? And it's going to move on from there. So I love the change. I think they should track the stats every time. And if this is setting up for tier play, which again we're not going to get into. Although if it's setting up for that, I think it's a good start.
Yeah.
I
think everything that we've read tonight, like I said, I don't have any pushback on any of it. Like I said, what it does also, there is more work on the ACO staff. Everything here is more work on the ACO staff. What I do know, well, actually, I don't know if it's released or not. I won't even say it. Never mind. Sorry, folks. But we've been on here an hour and a half. Like I said, I like that we went over this. I like that we got into every single piece of this. I like the feedback from everybody here tonight. Next week, look for tier stuff. Like I said, we really want to talk about what's going on in the ACL with the amount of players that are coming over. There was a comment on the post like, oh, not that many are coming over. It's like, well, compared to last year and compared to the year before, the numbers are only going up based on past pros from the ACL coming to the ACO. The numbers are only going upwards in that trend. So that means something. I don't care if it's from 1 to 2 and 2 to 4 and 4 to 8. That's 200% every year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care what that means something, right? If you went back another year and it looked like more like this, then I go, you know what? It might be irrelevant, you know. But when it seems like it's trending upwards, the players coming back into the ACO, there's something to say about that, you know. And that's what we want to talk about. We want to talk about the names that are coming in. We want to give them credit for coming in. We want to let you guys know who to look out for, because there's going to be some names Bill and I probably don't know. I mean,
right.
Michael Dingus and Michael Lucas, like I said, I knew of, like, barely knew their names, you know. And
I was very surprised. They're
monsters,
clean. Both of them monsters.
And they're gonna be here. They're gonna be here. You know, we hear stories about Bob Bonch, possibly Derek King, possibly Dakota Salih. I mean, Tom Gustis has made the move. Nate Stevens is highly successful making his move.
Yeah.
So we are seeing, like I said the tides are shifting, you know, and maybe not, but it's something to talk about.
We'll talk about that next week, though. We still got we got a lot of time, not a lot of time, but we have a couple weeks before the season starts.
Mm-hmm.
And when the season starts, you know it's all business. Other than that, we're going to be on Family Feud talking about all these topics because I don't know. This is what we think about. This is what we talk about in the shop while we're making bags. We're always in this conversation, and I know you guys that are sticking with us are always in this conversation too. Or you come here for the outlet to be able to hear it and talk to us about it and give us your opinions. Absolutely love it, though. Thank you guys very much for being here. Dylan, I am out, brother.
Yeah, I'm out too. Hey, folks, like the page, share the page, man. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all the good stuff. Hey, we appreciate it, man. This is CBC, Faith, Family, 4-baggers.
Out.